draw rectangle star pattern. Here we will do two types of rectangle star pattern. One is solid fill and the other one is the hollow rectangle star pattern. Let us understand how the solid and hollow rectangle will look like. First, solid rectangle star pattern has stars filled in at all rows, starting from first row to 3 rows. It is filled with stars. The row can be considered as the length of the rectangle and the column is considered as breadth of the rectangle. Here the breadth is 3. Next, if we go for hollow rectangle of same length, that is length 6 and breadth 3, it has the stars. It will have the stars filled only to the borders of the rectangle. That is, first line and last line are completely filled with stars. Similarly, first column and last column are completely filled with stars. Inside this border, the hollow, as the name indicates, there are no stars. Now, on coming to the implementation portion, let us declare length and breadth as 2 integers. We will write a flexible code so that we can generate the rectangle patterns of size as intended by the user. So we will get the length and breadth from the user. Length is for the number of rows of the rectangle for both solid and hollow based rectangle. Using scanf, we will get input for the variable length. Similarly, using scanf, we will get value for the variable breadth. First, let us draw the solid filled in rectangle. For that, we have seen the rectangle is filled with stars in all rows and all columns. So let us start for loop I, which will run from 1 till length of the rectangle. Length can be considered as row here, and within this length for loop, we will start the inner for loop for breadth. That is, in each row of length, each column or the breadth of the rectangle has to be filled with a star. Hence, printf statement with star, and for readability we are giving 1 space. So at each column, the star will be printed until the value of breadth. And this has to be continued for each row, but before jumping on to next row, we have to give the next line statement to bring the rectangle. So inside the outermost for loop running for length size, we will have printf statement. Now this is our implementation for solid filled in rectangle star pattern. As the name indicates, the rectangle has to be completely filled with star. Let me take length as 7 and breadth as 5. We got the solid rectangle pattern of size 7 by 5. The first for loop was running for length size, and hence there are 7 rows, and within each length there is a breadth. One more attempt with length 4 and breadth of size value 7. Here I have increased the breadth value. As we can see, we can also bring a square pattern if we give same length and breadth. Here I have given 4 for length and 4 for breadth. So we could get square pattern also with the same code as rectangle, as we have made both length and breadth as a flexible data to be received from the user. Now let us also introduce hollow rectangle star pattern in our implementation. So in the same code we will have solid rectangle and hollow rectangle star pattern. I am replicating the code of solid rectangle pattern. As we have seen, hollow rectangle have the borders with stars. That is, when row is 1 or row is same as length, there is a star pattern. Similarly, when breadth is 1 or breadth is the maximum value, then it has a star pattern. So we have to introduce the if statement within the nested for loop to check these conditions. If not, we have to get the hollow. That is, when it is not a border, we have to fill a space. So else statement fills space. The conditions as we have seen, when I, that is row equal to 1 or j column equal to 1, that is first row or first column, we have to have the star. Also, if I is equal to length, that is, if it is the last row, or j equal to breadth or last column, we should print the star. As j runs for the breadth and I runs for the length, we have to print the star under, if any one of these 4 conditions are satisfied, that will give as the star to 4 sides as a border for the hollow rectangle. Otherwise, we have to print the space. So now we have written the code for both solid and hollow rectangle star pattern. Let us provide the entry as 7 and 5. We could see first solid rectangle of size 7 by 5, and the second one is also 7 by 5 rectangle with hollow rectangle pattern. Next, let us provide 4 and 4. That is, we are replicating to get the square star pattern. One more entry I will provide with 9 and 5. So length is 9 and breadth of the rectangle is 5. So in all cases we are seeing the hollow pattern exactly as expected. And at the last, length 5 and breadth 9, a typical rectangle for solid and hollow.